my goodness. I always get blown away when bands that are smaller than 4 people, so 3 people, can create so much noise. And not like noise isn't a bad thing, but like just the amount of energy and passion that you can feel in your music. So very good job, guys.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Sorry, I'm still just on the fact that it was like 3 people, but sounds like a very full band. Anyway, you guys just recently put out a EP, or do you call it an album? Which one?
We call it an EP because album feels a little too serious, you know? That's like, because once you put out an album, that's your shot. An EP, you could write that off.
All right. Well, I wouldn't write this EP off because it's pretty good. It's pretty good. And it's called Lateral Adderall. Can you talk a little bit about the recording process and how that went for you guys?
So, this was one of our biggest crunches of all time.
Yeah, that's fair to say.
We'd been working for so long to try and get this album out, and we've reached a point where we just needed, the EP.
EP.
Yeah, sure. Where we just reached a point where we knew we needed to get it out. So, within the span of 2 weeks, we went through recording, mixing, mastering, the whole shebang. And we got it out there.
Yeah.
Wow.
We're so happy with the product. We actually we worked with our dear friend Dave from the Shillelaghs.
And Scott Bennett.
And Scott Bennett as well. And they treated us so well. And we basically used up all our good favor in the city in like 2 weeks to get it done. But, we got it done.
Yeah, and you know what? It sounds great. When I was doing some research for the show, I stumbled across an article that was like topalbumsoftheyear.com or something, and Lateral Adderall was it was on there. I don't know if you guys knew that or not. But it was on there, and the article was talking about how impressive the release was. And yeah, to get it together in 2 weeks like that, that's really impressive. You guys should be really proud of yourselves for that.
Thank you so much.
Of course. So I know that you guys didn't start off as Wack. You started with a different name. Can you talk a little bit about where the name Wack came from?
Nick, you want to tell us one?
Yeah, we used to go by a different name, and we decided we didn't like that name. And we flip-flopped back and forth between a bunch of different names until Quentin, I think he called one of the contenders for a name Wack, as in like that was his opinion of it. And that's how we were like, oh, that's actually the name right there. So that's kind of where that name came from.
We had a hell of a process. It was like a month long. And it was actually, it was a former member that we have to thank for the name getting changed to Wack, because there was a lot that we 3 had voted on as okay, and I'm personally glad we ended up getting Wack, because one of them was like dog water, which would have been sick, but Wack is much better.
Yeah, I think at one point we were almost Dr. Salt.
Yeah, which ended up becoming one of the songs on our EP.
Well, that's a nice little call out. Oh, that's great. Yeah, sometimes it can be really hard to pick a band name, and you guys just found one that stuck and came up organically. That's awesome. So another question I have for you guys is about your music. And I guess the question is, what is the driving source of your music? What do you like to write about?
Well, personally, so I like Lateral Adderall. This one was like the 2 songs that we just played, Paraiso and Blue Lagoon. I kind of wrote them together. And of course, I don't write our music. I write my like lyrics and the guitar, and then they basically fill in everything that needs to make it much better than it was when I brought it to them.
Of course.
But I basically wrote it. One of them is about my experience, because I'm from a small town in Alberta. It's just about coming here and how everybody kind of eventually moves away. That's Blue Lagoon.
Oh, cool.
The other one is just, I'm always mad about the state of the world because I'm a punk.
I mean, it's hard not to be.
Exactly, right? So, that's just, and it's also this, there's this opposed idea that I'm a very, very privileged person to live here and to have the things that I've been given. But at the same time, you want to complain about your position, and it's hard to do that while knowing you're so lucky.
Yeah, exactly. And I think it's important to remember that, even if you are in a privileged position, you still have pain, and that's still valid. But I definitely can empathize with that struggle. It's hard, For sure. No, that's great. I love to hear those themes in the music. And being angry with the world is such a classic punk thing, but it's hard not to be, I swear. All right, I got a few more questions for you. This one might be a tough one, might be an easy one. A few bands, they kind of struggle with this one sometimes. Where do you want to see yourselves in the future? I won't put a time on it, like 5 years, 10 years, but just a goal for Wack in the future.
Huh. That's a great question.
I think I want to be big enough to have action figures. That's it. That's all I need.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty cool.
There was
Waction
I have a
figures.
friend of mine who has a Circle Jerks figure, like the band, not the activity. But yeah, I've always thought that was so sick. So action figures are definitely up there. I really want to play with Pup. Like,
Oh, yeah.
I love them so much.
Hell.
We got to play with Pew Pew Pew, which I always thought their name was Pew Pew Pew.
Pew.
Yeah, but we got to play with them at Big Winter Classic, and that was a big one that we really wanted to get off our list. So Pup is next, I guess.
Oh, those are awesome. Action figures and playing with Pup. Oh, yeah, I love that. The next two questions here are questions that I ask every artist that comes on our show. And the first one is, do you have a piece of advice for new musicians? Now, this isn't meaning like a kid picking up an instrument. It could be anybody picking up an instrument at any age, at any time. Advice for new musicians.
I would actually say that probably the best thing that would help new musicians is to just get out to the scene, like attend shows and just be around. Because like hanging around those places, people will notice you. And I mean, I'm sure there's lots of other people that are going to those shows doing the exact same thing. So there's lots of bands that I think perform that way. So yeah, I would say that just go out to shows and be a part of the community.
And play.
100%.
And
a
play,
lot.
yeah, and play. Don't
Honestly?
just show up and do nothing.
I think the hardest thing to do is to start.
Yeah,
That's all
for
you got to
sure.
do.
Yeah.
You know, and I will say, like, some of the best musicians I've ever played have never played for an audience. You know, like, I've heard people, like, I know a guy, he's such a good guitarist, and I honestly don't think he's ever played in front of someone other than, like, maybe 2 people at a party.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and it's, like, it is hard to get out there and, like, share your art with people, and I think people will usually be pleasantly surprised. And also, no band stays bad forever. You just keep working at it. Everybody starts kind of bad. You know, nobody does a first show that's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't just keep sucking, you know? Eventually it comes out.
Yeah, exactly. Like you gotta suck a little bit at first to get good.
And we certainly did.
Yeah, I think every band did, so no worries. That is all wonderful advice. And then the final kind of question is, do you have any local artists that you would like to shout out? Any favorite bands in the city?
Can we all
Rapid
do
fire
some?
this?
Yeah.
Okay, here. I'm going to say Brain Bent Turnarounds. I'm a huge fan of Stolen Moon.
Oh, yeah.
I like Mixed Blame is pretty cool. I'm a big fan of Stucco.
Ooh.
And Still Depths.
Mm-hmm.
And then also, I forget what their name is. I saw them for one show, and they're this, like, just go. Next person, I'll try to remember.
I love the turnarounds. I love Stolen Moon. Mixed Flame's awesome. What's the Plan's very cool. Nick.
Neon Detour is pretty sick.
Yes, Detour
Turnarounds
is
are
sick.
good as well. I know Quentin and Finn already said them. In Search of Sasquatch, we saw them recently. They were very good. Terrible People are pretty good.
And you know what?
Finn, go back to you.
Oh, Sleepy
Less
in the Bugs.
miserable.
Sleepy and the Bugs are really good.
What's the Plan?
Oh man, you guys are just like listing them off
is
rapid
bizarre.
fire. That's so good.
Part
I
of the
love
reason we all
like
got into this is because we love it so much. So we got
yeah.
a lot of love to share.
Absolutely. Well, I love that you guys were spreading the love. I don't think I've ever seen like rapid fire like that. That is excellent. You guys are ready to go. All right. Well, speaking of ready to go, I think we are ready for your last 2 songs here. Before we do that, I just want to say thank you so much for coming on today. It's been a pleasure to have you, and I'm so excited to hear the last of your set.
Hey, thank you for having us.
Of course, I will let you guys take it away.
I'm riding on the road, bright lights beneath my feet. Quick Wally at the fish shop, 'cause I got nothing to eat. Don't forget it, buddy, I'm the lethal type. 'Cause every single day is go skate day in my mind. Ghost Cake Day! Ghost Cake Day! Ghost Cake Day! When I break my shit, well you know I'm feeling fine. I've got stuff to hit, there won't be a sign. Well you know that I got big bills I don't pay. 'Cause in my mind it's Ghost Cake Day every day. Ghost Cake Day! 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 Well, boy, this life is a real long ride, and I'll take it all one shot at a time. It's a whole lot better against crime than Ghost Cake Day on the line. Ghost Cake Day! I live in a big old house at the top of the hill, and I sell drugs in it. I sell acid, mushrooms, molly, cocaine, heroin, speed, religion, bitches, money, weed, coke again, cars, bars, and living plans for your children. I live in a big old house at the top of the hill, and I hold dog fights in the back. I sell tickets to watch dogs, eat dogs while you drink cheap beer and place your bets. Hateful, munching, eating Shih Tzu puppies. Don't forget, I live in a big old house, and honestly, I just don't fucking know what I'm doing anymore, you know?